Hey everyone, it's Eric with FirearmTutorials.com, and today while I was reloading some 9mm, I thought I'd give you guys a look at this Shockbottle case gauge. So if you're into reloading, usually you have some type of case gauge. I've talked about this one before for 223, but it's important to check these because what you don't want to do is run through a batch of 100, 200, even 1,000 of them and then find out that there's something wrong. And they're not really going to chamber or work reliably in your gun. So what this does is allow you to check 100 at a time. Now, when I started reloading this batch, I actually did about 10 or 15 of them and then checked them in here and they wouldn't seat. And the problem was that I had just readjusted my dies. I didn't have enough crimp on them. So when I put the belling on the case to drop the bullet in, there wasn't enough crimp on it. So the diameter of the case mouth here was just a little too much and it wasn't seating. They were basically ending up, somewhat like that in there, which is no good. Those would probably not fire in the gun. And if they did, they'd be kind of jammed in the barrel there and it can create all kinds of issues. So with this, it allows you to check 100 at a time. What it won't do though is it doesn't do like a maximum overall length. So you'll see here that I'm loading 147 grain, so it's a pretty long bullet, and you'll see here that it's actually sticking out the bottom a little there. Not the end of the world, but you can see that this is all one piece of aluminum here. They make a couple different models of this. There's one that's like a match grade one, which when I bought this one, the guy told me that if you were using just pickup brass, once fired brass or whatever, that you would want to use this one and not like the match grade one, because he said it's got really, really tight tolerances. And for this, like generally speaking, these are gauged a little better than you actually need. So if they fit in here, they're going to work in your gun flawlessly no matter what. So what you want to do here is just kind of put them in. And there we go. So we've got all 100 in here. So they're going to be, since I'm laying it flat and these are longer than the gauge, they're obviously raised up a little bit. So as soon as I pick it up, you see they all fall into place there. Now what we want to check here is for any of them that are showing a little high. Let's see, there's one right on the edge there. Some of them you can push down. Now remember that if you give it a little push and it seats, then you should be fine, because shooting 9mm in a semi-auto, that slide is really going to slam these rounds into the chamber. So you don't have to worry too much about that. What I will say though, through reloading a couple thousand rounds through this thing, is that for some reason this Tula ammo or Tull ammo or however you say it, I picked up, I don't know, probably a couple hundred rounds of it, because I've come across a couple of them in each batch that I put through here. But for some reason that specific brass just doesn't sit flush. Sometimes I can push it down, but I haven't had any other problems really with any brass except that specific Tula or Tull ammo. So if anybody knows why that is, just leave a comment. I haven't done any research into it, but putting them through here also gives you a chance, obviously, to see that they're all primed correctly. You don't have any that missed a primer and is dropping powder somewhere, and you don't have any that have high primers. And really, once you've reloaded, 9mm is a pretty easy caliber to reload, but once you've reloaded it enough times, you'll be able to know when you have one that doesn't seat a primer correctly and stuff as you're going through. But that's it. So the only downside to this is it's an expensive little tool. So MSRP on this is, I don't know, a little over $100. You can find it for right around 100. But you know, you figure if you buy a Dillon just dedicated one cartridge case gauge, the round ones, those are going to be, you know, around 20 bucks. So, you know, to do one at a time would be a real pain in the butt. So, you know, you get this, at least you can do 100 at a time. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any questions, let me know, and thanks for watching.